It's Dave. Thanks for checking my channel out. Please smash that like button. Please smash that subscribe button for more awesome watch content. I feel as though, even though this is an affordable watch channel, and that it's unlikely that there will be Rolex watches on here, anytime soon or on any kind of frequent basis, it is no deny that I am a Rolex fan of the products. I'm not a fan of the Rolex company, but I am a fan of, obviously, the Rolex style of watches, the sports watches. I love them, the GMT, the Submariner, Sea Dweller, Daytona, Explorer. Yes, they are my cup of tea. Obviously, I do think they're massively overpriced, and obviously the Rolex company I'm not personally a fan of, but I will do a Rolex predictions model because I do follow watch news, and I do follow what's going on out there in the luxury world of watches. And I think that this year they've been crying out for a rose gold Submariner, and I can't believe they've not released in the modern era, a rose gold sub, because rose gold is drop dead gorgeous on a watch. Now, I like gold on a watch, but rose gold probably even more in many ways. I think they will do it. I could be wrong, but I don't think they will do a full rose gold Submariner. I think that they will do a bimetal one. I think it'll be rose gold, silver and black, something like that, two-tone. And I think that would look beautiful. Of course, they already do a GMT Master 2 in rose gold that looks absolutely... It is one of the most gorgeous watches on this planet by a country mile. It is simply unbelievable. And if anyone's ever worn a gold watch on the wrist, a real gold watch, they are so heavy. Because they're like 220, 230, 40 grams. They're even for a 40mm sports watch with a bracelet, because the gold obviously is a heavier metal than stainless steel. And I think that would be simply beautiful to have an all rose gold sub in black, or a bimetal rose gold sub would also be beautiful. I think that is going to come, basically, to the Submariner this year. That's a prediction. I know others have made that prediction also. Something else I would also love to see on the Submariner, and I can't believe they've not yet done it, they should put an Oyster Flex rubber band on the Submariner. Just like they do it on the Yacht Master. They need to put that band, which in my opinion is the greatest, or one of the greatest rubber bands on the planet. It does actually have a steel band inside of it. It has a steel bracelet, if you will, like a steel piece of metal that's formed inside of the rubber. And it makes the watch super comfortable. It has the amazing clasp that comes with, Rolex watches. And I think that the Rolex Submariner just is made for people who don't like bracelets. I love bracelets, but there's people out there that just want to whack it on a rubber band. And I think the Oyster Flex band, we've seen it on the Daytona, we've seen it on the Yacht Master. It needs to go onto the Submariner. It's unlikely, but I think it's possible that we could be seeing the Oyster Flex on the sub. Possibly. Okay. Let's talk about the GMT Master. Now, the GMT Master 2, one thing I'll say about it, in my opinion, I believe that now that the Rolex Submariner has the 70-hour movement, has the 41mm size, because they updated it in, I believe, 2020, they updated it to a new size. Not that you can purchase it easily, because they have these massive waiting lists and all that. I think that the GMT Master and the other sports models that are not above 40mm, I think they do have to raise it to 41mm now. I think that 40mm for the Daytona, even though, it's got the pushers, and on the GMT Master 2, it's still a super case. It's got the maxi case style, but I still think they should be more like 41mm. Because that maxi case, that super case, makes it feel fatter, but at the same time, so it feels more like a 42, or 41 and a half really. But I think they need to whack it up to 41mm. You know, most flagships out there for, you know, Omega and stuff, they're going to be more like 42 now. Now that's nominal, so you can't compare, you know, apples and oranges. But I still think it would be slightly better for bigger wrists to have it just a touch bigger. I think it's the GMT Master 2 and the old Submariner at 40mm is just a touch too small for a lot of, you know, modern wrist sizes. I think they would be better at more like 41mm. So I think that it is only a matter of time that the GMT Master 2 and any other sports model that's below that's 40mm, like the Daytona and stuff, I think it's only a matter of time they'll be notched up a notch, you know, to 1 more mil or so, and brought to 41mm. I don't think they're going to do it this time, but I think they do need to do that. I think for the GMT Master 2, I think they are going to, it's kind of been leaked anyway. There is going to be a new GMT Master 2, it seems. I believe it should have been the Coke, but with the whole obsession now with green from, you know, the Hulk that the Rolex have popularised, from which is obviously discontinued, with, you know, the Patek Philippe, the Audemars Piguet, with everyone going green now, it seems as though it's going to be green. There's going to be a green GMT Master. I mean, the latest Omega Seamaster 300M is they're doing it one in green, and it does look pretty amazing. But Rolex do greens the best, in my opinion. The Rolex Hulk is a beautiful, vibrant green. And the Rolex Kermit, or Cermit, whatever you want to call it, the one with the black dial and the green bezel, is just simply absolutely drop dead gorgeous. It is close to watch perfection. Now, green is not as versatile, in my opinion, as black or blue or a two-tone. I think that it is similar to blue for lack of versatility in terms of if you're bothered about what you wear and how it looks and that kind of thing. But ultimately, you know, the wow factor is there. Now, I think that they will do a green GMT Master 2. I think it will be you know, in terms of either black or possibly, you know, two-tone. But, well, with like they do the Batman, you know, like they do the Coke with not two-tone, but you know what I mean, with the top part of the bezel, the GMT bezel being black and the bottom being green. Or alternatively, they could do a Coke. Now, the Coke, I believe the Coke, but not in ceramic. They did a Coke in the 1980s or 90s. They did something, I think it was on a Jubilee band bracelet, and it's been crying out for a ceramic version for absolutely years. People have been saying to bring it back, and they've not brought it back. But I think they do. I also think you can get a custom. You can order. It costs a lot of money, but you can get your Rolexes custom made. And I've seen images on Google of a blue, like a Smurf, a blue, like a Rolex Smurf Submariner, a blue GMT Master 2, and it really does work. The bezel in the blue and white looks fantastic. I think that it wouldn't surprise me if they did something like that, and I think that would be absolutely killer. And it looks better than the Smurf. It does, because the bezel looks better. The GMT bezel looks better than the Submariner bezel, in my opinion. It's got more character and more depth, with like a light blue, second GMT hand. Now then, but I don't think they will do that this time. I think we're going to get either a green and black GMT or a Coke GMT. The Coke's been on the cards for years. I think it's possible now that it will drop. but they have released a leak, or it's been leaked yesterday in the latest promo vid, and people have analysed it and saying it's not a Coke, it's green and black. People are saying. Now then, with the Daytonas again, they've there's a lot to say there. I think they should whack it up to 41 mil. I think it wouldn't be completely out of this world. Oh, I forgot to mention as well with the GMT Master 2. I think that they should bring out like a simpler, just all black. They did an all black one a few years ago, ceramic, all black with a green hand, and it worked really, really good. For people who just want less of a in-your-face watch, even though I do prefer an in-your-face watch, I think it's a fantastic all-rounder that probably does look better because of that dial, because of the GMT aspects of it, than the straight black Submariner. It wouldn't surprise me if they brought something similar to that back, maybe with an orange hand, or maybe with a different coloured hand, like a red hand, even, instead of the green that they had last time. On the Daytonas, I think we could actually see, like they've done with the white gold, I think we could see possibly a blue, a Cookie Monster, a blue ceramic bezel with black dial. I think that would be, possibly even on a white gold, I think that would be absolutely killer. Although the blue is not going to be as versatile, but obviously when you're spending that kind of money, it's more like a fashion statement, isn't it? It's a social status thing. Now, there's going to be some new, this on the Yacht Masters. It seems as though there's going to be a titanium Yacht Master. Now, I'm not necessarily a big fan of titanium because it scratches, possibly even more easier than stainless steel. It is lighter, of course. Now, I think what they need to do, as I've mentioned previously, I think that 42mm size is excellent, and the way that the lugs curve, it's not a too big of a hefty watch, in my opinion, for my size of wrist. Therefore, what I think they need to do is, a bit like Pagani Design release their homage to the watch, but on a bracelet, I think they need to bring that titanium watch on a bracelet, a full bracelet. I think they need to do one that's got like a black dial with that relief dark grey bezel on a bracelet at 42mm. I think that would be killer. I think it would fly off the shelf. I think that, and even a two-tone version of that. I think that that is definitely, because not everyone wants to buy it on an Oyster Flex, that Yacht Master. They want to see one that's that size on the but not the not the Yacht Master 2 that's got on the the big hefty 44mm one. We just want the 42mm one, but on a bracelet as well. If you want to do it in titanium, go ahead. I'm not the biggest fan of titanium. I'd prefer a bit more weight to like the stainless steel, but it's lighter, it's more comfortable. Now, the Milgauss and Air King apparently are made with similar tooling. Now, in terms of the Milgauss, I'm a big fan of the Milgauss. I love the style of it. I think the dial is gorgeous. Now, in pretty much any colour combination that they do, but it's been on the cards for, and the Air King, in my opinion, is the weakest model of Rolex. It's the weakest model because it doesn't have enough originality to differentiate it, in my opinion, from the Milgauss. I think it's just, even though it's still a nice watch, it's just not personally for me. I think that one of them is going to be discontinued, and with the sources that I've seen, it is unfortunately probably going to be the Milgauss, and that's a shame because I think the Milgauss has a superior history and a superior appearance and is a better watch than the Air King. But apparently, you know, if you listen to Watchbox reviews, he's saying that it'll probably be the Milgauss that's possibly going to be discontinued, because I've heard that some ADs are saying they're not getting any of these things, which is a real shame, because the Milgauss is a beautiful, beautiful watch, and I do not think they should discontinue it. Now, the Explorer 2, as we know, last year, they let everyone down by not releasing. They released an updated model with a better movement and that, and slightly better proportions. But it was basically the same watch as what was released a few years ago. I'm talking about the Panda Dial one and the Black Dial one with the orange hand. That's not what we want anymore. We've seen it and we've done it. We want, in my opinion, a ceramic bezeled one. Now, is tomorrow going to be released a ceramic bezel? I don't think so. I think we would have heard more about it had they decided to do that at this point. And possibly they don't want to go ceramic, because obviously if you're going exploring, if you're going climbing and going up mountains and all that stuff, people are saying that a ceramic bezel would crack more easily than a stainless steel one. Well, it would, but it wouldn't scratch more easily. And you'd probably have to hit it fairly hard to crack it. I think probably a ceramic one is still a superior choice than stainless steel that'll undoubtedly scratch. Now, I don't think they're going to do this tomorrow, but I would absolutely love to see a ceramic Explorer 2. I think a ceramic Explorer 2 with a coloured bezel, with a different GMT hand than the orange, I think could be, again, absolutely killer. And I know that because I'm not actually the biggest fan of white dial watches, but the polar one, it is quite polarising, and it's not personally, with that orange hand, it's not personally my cup of tea. If that orange hand was a different colour, possibly even, you know, possibly I would be even more interested in it. But I'm also not the biggest fan of the way, even though it is more legible, the way you've got the dark rings around the white indices. I mean, I would like to see a ceramic one, but you know, and this is talking about the Explorer 2. Now the Explorer 1, again, there is an obvious thing they can do. They could re-release the 39mm, because the 36mm is on the Explorer 1. The 36mm is, in my honest opinion, in 2022, it is straight up female size. It is a size for ladies. It is way too small, and as well, it's 36mm nominal. People have measured them, not that I've ever had one in my hands, of the modern ones. I've had an older 36mm Explorer in my hands, and they're tiny. But this one's even smaller, because this one's got a 19mm bracelet, lug bracelet, and it's got it's only like 35 and a bit mil diameter on the bezel. So it is tiny. It's tiny. It is tiny. And so there's no way on earth I would ever buy that watch in a million years at that size. I mean, you know, now what I think they should do is, with the Explorer 1, there's clearly some need for differentiation in terms of, some people do prefer it in the smaller size. That's fine. But I think if they're going to do it in the 36mm, they've got to up the bracelet to at least 20mm. And they've got to make it a true 36mm, not 35.3, whatever it is. They've got to make it a true 36mm. And they've also got to, for people who don't like small watches like me, they've got to release a bigger Rolex Explorer 1. Now, a few years ago, we had the 39mm, which everyone said it was again polarising. Some people said, I don't like the dial, looks too big, I don't like this. I loved it, and I would love to see it in two-tone, like they've released a two-tone. I think that would be killer. But I would like to see, actually, an even bigger Rolex Explorer 1. Now, I don't think they will do this because of differentiation, but I think it should be 41mm, because it looks significantly different from the Explorer 2, which is, you know, so I think definitely, which is obviously a GMT watch. So I think the Rolex Explorer 1, they should offer it, if people want to buy it in that size, in the female size, if you will, the smaller one, the 36mm, up it a bit. And they should also release it in a 41 mil, an updated 41 mil in two-tone, in at least two-tone. Now that would be killer. That would be absolutely killer in my opinion. Now I don't think they will do that, but I think we could see back the Rolex Explorer 1 in two-tone at 39 mil. I think that is a very possibility. So this has been, and another possibility actually, because this whole rose gold thing, we could see a rose gold Rolex Explorer 1. For some reason, if they were going to do that, I have a funny feeling they would stick to 36 mil, which I'm disappointed with. But I think a rose gold Rolex Explorer 1 would be simply beautiful with the black dial. It would be absolutely beautiful. And I forgot to mention one more possibility. In a kind of way of bringing back the Hulk, I think it is very possible that they will release a two-tone gold, and in fact, I think they will do this actually. Gold, silver, and green Submariner. I forgot to mention it before. I think that is very possible because green is now the in thing. Everyone's crying about green. I think that they will release a two-tone green gold for maximum bling and you know, it does look beautiful. It does actually work. It doesn't work as well as the blue. The blue is in my opinion the greatest combination of colour watches in the world. It is the most beautiful watch on the planet. The Rolex Blues two-tone. It is simply unbelievable, that watch. And I've seen it in person. I've tried it on in person. I've tried it on in Southport. And these pictures are from a dealer in Southport. And it is the most gorgeous watch on the planet, in my opinion. But if you like green, the green, gold and silver is simply beautiful. And you have to see, there's obviously pictures online of, you know, ones that people have made on Photoshop and stuff that you can watch. And it does work really good. So those have been my predictions. Let's see what they come up with. Thanks for checking my channel out. We're nearly at 1,000 subs. It's been Dave. Have a great day.